can't do it. That's funny. Okay.
Okay, we're all good.
Mike,
You are metal
why
robot.
that, how come it does that? It's so strange.
Beyond your comprehension.
Reasons beyond anybody's comprehension.
Sometimes technology just be like that.
All right, all good to go.
All good. Okay. So, all right, last time we left off as the Sentinels finished fighting the druid known as the Worm, who was controlling the Thrycreen, or something of that nature. You... All right, kids, calm down over there. As you defeated him, his armor exploded, causing a collapse of the tunnels. You managed to, with Castle's cloak, teleport out back to the Bloodwell. And basically was like, told everybody, hey, we did it. We got no proof, but we did it. You decided to go back and to get proof. So you teleported back to get proof, found the tunnels completely collapsed, and just maybe a dozen or so Thrycreen out mindlessly trying to dig out the other survivors. You spent, I think, nearly an entire day helping them dig and helping to free the other captured or trapped Thrycreen. To which then you offered sanctuary and a home back at the Bloodwell with Clan Brozak. They agreed, and they followed. You walked the couple of days' journey back to the Bloodwell. Met up with Gravemaker and Flight. Alliance was made with the Thrycreen from them. And on your way back, you back into the city, he sent some of his people with the Thrycreen to get them settled, while he offered to take you lot to the Circle of Bones. And that's where we left off, as you crest this temple-like structure, the massive overhang propped up by about a dozen different pillars. In the dead center of this 50-foot by 50-foot room, there is a pit. And in the center of that pit is a swirling vortex of crimson liquid. What you assume is the Bloodwell. On the opposite side of the Bloodwell, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chairs set up, and most of them are filled. There are a couple of people standing behind the chairs, or sitting in other chairs or benches or tables. There is a what looks like a refreshments bar off to one side. These folk don't look like they don't like to meet without a bit of a party.
Our kind of people. Or I guess Frank's kind of people anyway.
As the chief of Clan Brozak leads you into this chamber, He gestures for you guys to wait off to one side as he goes and takes one of the 7 high chairs. And after a few minutes, the circle of bones gather. And one by one, you can see the 7 leaders of the Bloodletters.
Do I remember anything about this Bloodwell and what its purpose is?
Make a history check. Ryan, I'm getting an echo from you, by the way.
Oh, because I have this all the way up.
That would do it.
Can you still hear me clear?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Can you hear yourself?
Can I hear myself?
Give it a shout.
9. You remember it. Yes. You remember. You have a vague recollection of somebody branded as a traitor and thrown into the well and vanishing and never being seen again.
Mm.
You're not sure what it is, where it comes from, but you do remember it.
Okay.
AI Arcana?
I 5,000,000% have detect magic up, and if I don't, I do now.
It is okay. Detect magic. Go ahead and make an Arcana check, Frank. Charles, detect magic. Incredibly potent. Abjurative magic.
Ooh,
Incredibly potent.
abjuration.
A
As we
5.
walk in,
Dude, that's swirling blood. Frank, that's swirling blood.
What I get? Ooh. Wait, that's not.
That blood do the
That's,
swirling though.
I didn't roll my check that I can see. Did it roll for you guys?
Yeah.
Rolled for me.
What I get?
5.
Oh, 5.
5.
That's even worse than the 9. All right.
so as we walk in, then I'll nudge whoever's closest to me and go, "Oh, the Bloodwell. Just don't fall in."
Why? What happens if we fall in?
Don't remember.
I just remember that you shouldn't.
I'm gonna move to like the outer edge of our party, closer to the wall. You know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
As you kind of skirt your way around, you hear one of the members of what you're assuming is the Circle of Bones takes his glaive and slams it down on the stone before him. You now see. Let me grab my notes. Here we go. Okay.
Baby.
Look at that little guy.
Hey. You see a hulking, aged Goliath. Wrinkly face, head completely shorn, tattoos from basically the jawline down. You're not sure if he's wearing a shirt or not because there's just nothing but ink. But he's old. He's kind of hunched over, still very well muscled, but he leans up or stands up, kind of stretches a little bit. All right. Let's get this on the road. Council of Bones meets today. Several, again, looks to the others. Several important, supposedly important things going on. Right. For the guests around, we should probably do introductions because this should be quick. I am Speaker Zarth of Clan Visna.
Could you like pause for like half a second while I get some notes pulled up?
Yes,
Just
please.
like a quick notepad.
Max, you're taking notes?
I am. Because you
I'm
so
glad
clearly
you're nice.
telegraphed that we should. Just now.
Don't know what you're talking about.
See, that's what you just need to communicate. Just put a big sign up saying you should be taking notes right now. All right. So speaker. What was he? Speaker?
Yes, Speaker Zarth
Zarth. Okay.
of Clan Vistna. Vistnah.
And he's the
what's up?
Goliath.
He's the old Goliath
He's
with
the
tattoos.
He's the Goliath, yeah. You see to his right, he points. Why did I make this name so hard? Oh yeah, that's right. Here we have you kill all from Clan Gishma.
What race is he
You kill all.
or she?
Yes, Yukillall. You kill all.
A great
Definitely not on
barbarian
purpose.
name.
This is another Goliath, younger, much younger. Like can't be much. Well, we'll see. Can't be much older than you, Wrath. And you actually remember this guy. He wasn't chief of Clan Gishma when you were here last. I will say you remember his father was clan leader.
Was his father I kill all?
No, they kill all.
Got it.
He points to
He,
the
she, we
individual
kill
on
all.
the end. The individual on the all the way to the end of his on his right. This is a dwarf, big, curly, red beard, small little glasses on the end of his nose, wearing like a Viking helmet, and has a big old battle axe off to his side. Chief Apthid of Clan Obawa.
Abnid?
Apthid. Apthid.
Bid of clan. What?
Obawa. Obalwa.
Okay.
And he slowly kind of turns off to his left. Immediately to his left, you see a cloaked figure, huge shoulders, as he says, "This is Chief Garnosh of Clan Primal." And he lifts back the hood, and you can see woven features, big long snout, a full-blooded werewolf. Chief, his name is Garnosh, Chief Garnosh. Clan leader Claude from Kalatil. Let me know when you guys are good.
Oh, I'm good. I'm keeping up. But
Okay, sir.
yeah. What's his race?
This one, you can see he also has this hood. Actually, no, this one doesn't. Sorry. This is a. At first, you're thinking this might be a werepanther, but the black feline features are smaller. So this tabaxi with black fur, yellow piercing eyes, and a big ring, like a lip ring almost. Kind of there's like a just big old iron ring attached to the side of his lip. Next we have Turath of Clan Dremel. And then you know the chieftain from Clan Brozak, I would assume. Gravemaker, what have you brought these outsiders in here for? And Gravemaker stands up at that point. They have news of the world beyond these plains. There is an invasion that could destroy everything, including us. These warriors, these heroes, have fought this invasion and now come seeking help. He looks to the others. They can tell you more of what it is we face. But whatever this council's decision for the Bloodletters, Clan Brozak will be going with them to face whatever this is. And he kind of turns, gesturing to you all. And then he sits down.
Yes, hello. I don't know if you remember me. Hi, yes. I'm Wrath. I am the son of Gravemaker. Gone for a while, I was lost, and now I've come back, and I'm excited to be here and get to hustle a little bit with some friends. And I'll look over in the Bloodwell and be like, whoa! Get a little bit nervous and back up a little bit. And be like,
Charles
whoa.
will mentally communicate to our good bard friend. Please tell me you have some charisma boosting things you could do.
And I don't think I can subtle cast inspiration or anything like that, right? Like,
Not as.
well, they're not a very magical group. They wouldn't notice. It's fine.
Well,
I can just pat him on the back and give him some inspiration.
give him a good limerick in his ear.
That would definitely raise their suspicions. I'm just gonna like pat him as high. I'm very small. I'm gonna pat him on the side of his knee, like, "You got this, Big Chief. I believe in you."
Go ahead and take your bardic inspiration. What is it, D8
D8
or
now,
a
yeah.
D6?
It's a D8 at this level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I roll a charisma check with that or something?
No, just when you do.
When you
Eventually.
do, you can add that to it.
Oh, how nice.
Can I... No, not yet.
So we have come to seek your help. The world is falling apart, and we are quite far from the world, but as you know, there's a great invasion that's happening right now, and as the invaders come and kill people, they'll probably come here too, and while we are quite a strong force, we're not sure we can do much against millions. But
I will mentally communicate to Wrath. And I will say, Wrath, I'm going to mentally communicate to you. I want you to repeat what I say word for word. Not if you understand. Or cough. Yeah, that works too. Alright, Charles will begin to mentally talk to Wrath and say, invaders from another world come to ours.
I'll be saying what he's saying.
Okay. They seek to annihilate all life. Not just yours, but those that we pillage from. Those beyond those we pillage from. Those beyond there. Every single living being on this world will be raised by them. They are known as the Gith. Yellow elf orc hybrids. Toad-like.
The clattering sound of DM dice is always a terrifying thought.
No idea what you're talking about.
And Charles will... Basically, he's just doing that to kind of give some background. And he's trying to keep it simple. Like, comparing them to toads, kind of just simplifying it to invaders of another world. Charles will then go on to tell Wrath, tell them about the destruction of Winter's Hearth. And just let Wrath do that.
Wrath, how do you explain Winter's Hearth?
Winter's Hearth. I don't know if you know of it, but it was completely destroyed in hours. We were there. We were nearly killed ourselves, and we escaped, thankfully. But a large city, bustling city, completely destroyed, and all of the inhabitants destroyed. We can see the same thing happening in the rest of the world.
Tell
We
them...
don't want that to happen, and you don't either.
Tell them how close Winter's Hearth is relatively close. About how far away is Winter's Hearth? Week, 2 weeks?
Teleported? So it's like...
It's probably more like a
Month?
month of travel, yeah. At a quick pace, maybe 3 weeks.
Although they can just...
We'll be optimistic. A
Here.
3 weeks distance from here. It is ripe for the potential taking from the current otherworldly threat. We ask you, and Charles will just take over at this point, in person. Charles will step up. And as my friend has said, we ask of the Bloodwell to aid us in the Bloodletters, the Bloodwell, the Royal They,
The Royal Well.
the Royal Well. To assist in capturing and eliminating this otherworldly threat. In turn, the city of Winter's Hearth, a city that was large and full of resources, a port city, would be yours for the taking. Uninhabited and destroyed, uninhabited now and completely razed by the invaders. It would serve as a bounteous location for the Bloodletters. I would urge all of you to seriously consider joining in this cause to save the world from this otherworldly threat. And with that line, I'm going to subtle spellcast Mass Suggestion.
Ooh.
Wow, there's less than 12 people on this council.
Yes, there is. What do they need to do, Max?
Basically, the last line I said, I would urge you all to...
What kind of save?
Oh, it's a save, it's a wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
I believe. I'll double check, but yeah, Misthaven Carnum. Usability. Mass Suggestion.
Are you using it on Gravemaker?
No. He's already on our side. I don't need to do it on him.
Okay.
And again, this is just Mass Suggestion.
It'd be really awkward if they somehow figured out that you did that, Max.
Would they be able to? Because like once is Mass Suggestion say they're aware of it?
There is no way in Mass Suggestion that says that they can become aware of it.
Interesting. So they either save or.
It's literally because the component is you speaking. It is the sentence that you speak is the words
No, but I mean
of the
like
spell.
Charm Person. If you fail,
Yeah, it says
they're
in Charm
immediately
Person. It says in Charm Person if you
but
fail.
it doesn't say in at all.
Yeah, let's see. Each party must
awesome.
make a Wisdom save. On a failed save, pursues the course of action to the best of its ability. That's it. It doesn't say what happens when it succeeds. It says nothing.
Huh.
It does say
Well,
creatures that can't be charmed are immune to this effect. And it must be worded in such a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable. And I would consider that the big speech that we gave beforehand made it sound like a reasonable thing to ask.
Okay. You subtle spelled that, right?
Yep, absolutely. I wouldn't have done it any other way.
Okay. Does it say that you know who?
No, it
succeeded
doesn't
before?
actually.
Okay.
There's no way for me to know unless they, like, agree. I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. I mean, if it's like a semi-vague suggestion, like, I mean, help us to eliminate the otherworldly threats, it's vague, but it gets the point across.
What's your DC? 17?
Yes.
18?
I believe it's 17. I'll double check. Yeah, 17.
Okay. Okay.
Oh no. I don't know if that's good or bad. We'll find out.
You look, as you finish saying this, and as you subtle spell cast Mass Suggestion to the 6 other members of the Circle of Bones. Turoth, sitting next to Gravemaker, looks at Gravemaker, looks at you. Oh, and by the way, Turoth is he's got a hood up, but you can see he has.
What race is he? Oh yeah, he's got a hood up and we can't see what he is.
Well, no, you can. Dark skin, like gray, ashen gray, white streaks of hair, that's kind of tumbling through down the bottom of the hood. He is a drow, a dark elf.
Oh, fun. All right.
He looks at Gravemaker, kind of gives a smile and a nod. I shall offer Clan Jamal's help as well in this endeavor. Going down the line, Chief Claude, the Tabaxi, looks at everyone else. I don't know what you all are thinking. These two, at least. There is no way a force, large as it may be, could even make it here without our own awareness. We would be ready. We would face them here on our own terms. That is the best strategy to win.
I agree wholeheartedly, Chief Claude. However, the enemy we are facing at this moment does not plan on fighting fair.
Neither do we.
They
As you
plan
go in,
on...
you
Tell them
can
they
see
can
the
teleport.
insiders, the
Ah.
sharpened teeth.
They plan on activating an ancient magical relic of some kind. This would raise the planet instantaneously. I don't know if you're familiar with bombs, but imagine a bomb that completely annihilates the planet. That is what they plan on doing.
So basically, there's a good chance we don't even get to see them, and we all die. Which would be really sad, especially for someone who enjoys battle as much as I do.
You know what? With that, Wrath, give me a persuasion check with advantage because of aid from Charles.
And bardic inspiration, and potentially Castle's Flash.
Doesn't need it.
Oh, flip!
Mm.
2 17s. If you want, you can try using the bardic inspiration. It may help.
Yeah,
it
I'll
may
use it. It's a D8, right?
Yeah, D8. This is addressing to the group. Nice.
With those words, you can see the Tabaxi was kind of leaning forward, talking animatedly. He now kind of sits back and is now more contemplative, more. It's hard to tell. He maybe just have written everything off, or he may be willing to listen now.
And I would like to as before the council continues to give their thoughts, we do not come here expecting you to trust us willy-nilly. We know that actions here speak loudest. We as a group, to garner some of your honor or trust, have brought back proof of the annihilation of the insectoid threat that threatened your camp on occasion. Here we have one of their few remaining members, free from being brainwashed by an evil master. We have freed them from their leader called the Worm, a very powerful druid. And with their home completely destroyed, they have come to Clan Brozak seeking, what is the word? You use the word.
They swear fealty.
They swear fealty to Clan Brozak, and instead of attacking, will aid. We would bring you the head of the druid that caused this problems, but he was completely and utterly annihilated by our party.
Gone.
Gonna
Reduced
embellish
to
that
ash.
just a little bit, but you know.
You see the two who've spoken, Turoth and Chief Claude, both kind of nod. Zarth Speaker Zarth, just looking impressed, I guess you can say, as the werewolf leans forward nearly to the edge of his chair. Well, excellent. Clan Primal will be there as long as the wolves can be unleashed and the rats can be uncaged. We will help in every fight. He then sits back.
Well, you are terrifying. Okay.
That's probably the
That's
highest
exactly
compliment.
the attitude we need.
That's the highest compliment I think you could receive from Wrath.
Zarth looks at the remaining individuals. You can see You Kill All is in thought. He's just staring down into the Bloodwell, arms crossed before him, just thinking. Apthid looks. Well. Claude, you sure? Chief Claude nods his head. What assurances can we have that the rest of the world would let us have that town, that city?
I
Well-
wish I don't call you right now. I have thoughts. Can't share them.
Yeah.
My own undoing.
The city itself, those who lived there, while it numbered in, how many did it? Like the thousands, I want to say? Like,
There was probably a solid 20,000 people who lived
while
there.
it numbered in 20,000 plus people, a mere 100 or so survived.
Much less, right? We had like,
I thought it was
Maybe
about
a few
100
dozen.
people, right?
It was about 100, yeah.
okay.
This continent, though you may not be aware of the political constructs, and why would you be? Why would you care? The city functioned as its own state, a city-state, if you would, under its own jurisdiction. All leaders, all political holdings there are now gone. It is in the interest of the world for the city to continue in some way, shape, or form. Though at this point, completely infested by the enemy threat. Coming out in there and clearing out those enemies and claiming the city, I can't think of a single power that would complain. When debriefed on the gravity of the situation. If you need Charles to make a persuasion check, you can, but...
No, at this point, I think Apthid.
I love good arguments and persuasions combined with magical persuasion. It's the perfect combo.
Well, I will tell you, only one person failed.
Holy crap.
I'm not going to tell you who, but
That's
one person
okay.
failed.
That's okay.
There were 2 nat 20s.
Oh.
There was a 17. Okay, no, 2 people failed, I guess, because there were 2 twos. But yeah.
Okay, got it. That's
Um,
fine. I mean, like, listen. I'll take what I can get. That's why I
No, no,
combine the
yeah.
powerful normal arguments with the magical argument.
Apthid looks at the rest. Clan Obawa will help retake or take, however you want to put that, whatever city you mentioned.
It can be whatever name you'd like now, once you capture it.
I'll think of names, but that is where my clan's help will end.
Alright.
I want to get out of this plane forever. It's a good excuse. Speakers are...
By the way, Josh, I just want to
Yeah.
be clear. The way I explained the political structure, that's basically how it is, right? The city-state stuff, yeah. Okay, I just wanted to double-check that, because Charles would know, but Max might not.
Yeah. For the Moorcliffs and for Winter's Hearth, they're all kind of self-governed.
City-states.
Heading
Okay.
anywhere east of Winter's Hearth, you get into the Foreign Empire.
Got it.
That's one place you guys really haven't been to at all,
No, yeah.
and don't really know a whole lot about.
Right.
But Speaker's Arth. Well, I cannot, in any form of good conscience, abandon this home. We have been here. We have built this up from nothing. So Clan Visna is going to decline. You all can move out if you want. That just means more space for me. And mine. Ukalal. Boy, you need to speak. You can see he kind of jumps at it when his name is called. Whoever wants to make an insight check real quick. Yeah, go for it. Whoever wants to.
Why not?
Or whoever, I'll say, whoever would be paying attention to Ukalal.
I mean, now I would.
It's not showing me any of my rolls. What is going on? Can you see them?
Yeah, you got a 10.
I'm gonna re-roll or reload. It's so
Yeah,
weird.
I would.
I got a 21.
5.
Charles, you see a flash of light, just a small glint of something, and it's some of the torch light from the surrounding torches glinting off of some of the liquid within the vortex. And you're like, whoa, what's down there? Frank, I'm not sure what you're looking at this point. But with a 10, you don't notice. With a 21, however, very, very briefly, Ukalal's eyes flash to the left and look towards seemingly Gravemaker.
Nice.
Before flicking back towards you all and finding Wrath. Before he says, oh yes, Clan Gishma will Gishma will help. You have our warriors.
Great.
As Speaker Zarth. Well, whatever you fools want to do, go for it.
What's the plan, Charles? A plan man. Rev.
Once the clans are ready.
Before you're able to answer Wrath's question, Gravemaker slams his mace down onto the stone. There's one more bit of news that I wanted to alert the council to. The Circle of Bones, under the council of those in my clan, those closest, I have chosen and selected Brozak Wrath to become heir of Clan Brozak. Upon my death, he will be chief. He kind of gives you a half smile, Wrath. And Zarth kind of looks confused. Hey, Gravemaker, you sure your young one there over your oldest? Gravemaker nods. This plan was offered by my eldest, and I agree. Wrath has shown incredible fortitude and strength. He will be a good leader. He will be a good chief.
Thank you.
Zarth nods, everyone else kind of nods and looks around. Well, let it be so then. Unless there's anything else, this Council of Bones will retire. We'll disperse. You all can go make whatever foolish plans you want. Nothing else? Good. Slams his glaive down, and then uses it to stand up. All right, y'all get out of here. And he turns towards some of his retinue, and they leave.
Question: does the Bloodwell react at all to him doing that?
Make a perception check.
Ooh, I'm not good at that. Okay. Could it be like Arcana maybe? I'm not that much better at that either. But hey,
Yeah,
12.
I could lift you up a little bit if you need.
Get assistance from Wrath. Get advantage.
No, but
Yeah.
it's honestly not too hard to see. There is, even in the vortex, there is a bit of a ripple.
Charles will kind of think in his own head. It's like, yeah, if I had access to a cool magical blood execution well, I think I'd keep it here too.
But the rest of the day is now yours. What do you guys want to do? As everyone kind of is packing up, and you can see Flight goes over to Gravemaker, and they talk for a sec, and then they start heading your way.
So how are we doing networking here, boys? Like, how we
Wasn't it
coordinating?
to, kill them all. What's his name? You kill them all.
You kill all?
Yeah. I want to talk to him if
Okay.
I can find him.
Yeah, easy enough. He's one of the last to actually get up because he's kind of seems like there's something on his mind, but he's looking into the Bloodwell for a bit and then starts to stand up as you approach. Oh, Wrath, or Wrath.
Hey, you Kilal. I kind of remember you from so many years ago.
I would sure hope so. Where have you been all this time?
Well, people tried to kill me, and then I lost my memory, and then I've been wandering, and I'm back. Surprise.
Well, what a what a welcome back, I guess, or what a return.
Yeah, well, it's been quite the journey. I've had a lot of fun with my friends, fighting great monsters and strange magical beings, and I'm excited to, commit myself to something. Of course, I'm sure my father has lots of life left to live, hopefully. Hey, hey, ha ha ha. Well, nudge him a little bit.
Yeah, let's hope that would be. Yeah, let's hope.
Well, do you have a second? Could I talk to you outside?
Yeah, sure. You just kind of head over to one of the. Um, it's almost like a balcony, like a viewing area, where there's a railing and a couple of tables and chairs and things set up. But it overlooks where the city kind of dips down into a little bowl, and some of the houses and buildings are built within this slope. You kind of overlook all of that as you go over to the railing.
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm really a little bit, I wouldn't say nervous, but I don't know. I'm curious what it's like to be a chief of your own clan.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see why that would be on your mind recently. um, I don't know. It's not too bad. Perks are pretty nice. The able to tell people what to do or is always fun. Uh, at least for Clan Gishma, we have a lot of families and heads of families that lead the smaller groups, and they just report to me and they just tell me what I need to know, and I tell them what they need to do, and they do it. And then they pay tribute, and yeah, that's about it. We've got it looks kind of down to the southwest, and you remember that area is kind of where Gishma was located. Um, and we've got several large communities down there, and then now we're expanding out here to the east. It's most everything is done by or micromanaged by other people. I just tell them what I think would be best for us. That's it.
That's good. I hope there's some decent organization in my future clan as well. I don't know much about it. I guess I'll be learning a lot.
Yeah, yeah, you will be.
Well, don't really remember a whole lot. But what do I remember about this guy? Is there anything in particular?
Make a history check.
Oof.
You remember seeing him at certain functions, certain get-togethers between the clans. Whenever the Council of Bones met, your father always brought you and Flight and Spear to just watch, kind of sit to the side and watch. And he was along those same lines. Just the son of a chief, potentially the heir one day, and then that happened.
Well, life used to be much simpler, I suppose. Sometimes we can look back and miss a little bit. But I see you've become being a great Goliath dude. Good job. I'll be seeing you around, I guess.
Yeah.
Give him
Yeah.
a pat on the back. Then an awkward, like, fist bump / like, chest hug.
It's very awkward.
Cool.
You can see he kind of, as you walk back towards the group, he stays there and just kind of looks out towards the city.
Seems like a good guy, that Yukilal. Very cool name, too.
Oh, I think your name's a bit cooler, Wrath. If I may.
Well, of course it is.
So, before we mobilize all of these people, I think it wise. I don't know. Man, if only we had a druid who could cast divination. Frank, you got any ability to, like, divine things? Or
Like
see things far
talking
away?
to, like the big guys.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, in a way, yeah. Yeah, I could. I mean, hold on. Let me check my spells.
I mean, I could just stand up on Wrath's shoulders and then I'd be able to see real far.
I think it'd be farther
I'd
if
have
Wrath
to,
stood
like-
on his shoulders and use his eagle
I
eyes.
have to like take some time, think at him in my brain. I could like only one specific big guy up there, but they might tell me something. I don't know. Yeah, I can do that. Can't you guys? You guys can both. Like, aren't you?
I mean, I could tomorrow.
You're not like wizards, from what I gather. It looks like your powers a
I'm
lot
better.
like,
I'm a warlock.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the term. Yeah.
I mean, like, I can myself scout out Winter's Hearth real quick. Just to make sure it is indeed still overrun by the Yugoloth threat. Just want to double check that fact. I would imagine it would still be occupied, considering that it would be in their best interest that no ships come back into port, but... just to be sure... Okay, you know what? What time is it right now?
It's about noon.
About noon, okay.
Actually, at this point, it'd be just a little bit later. Like,
Alright,
what?
I can blow a lot of charges on my staff to go take a peek.
These children are being
Insufferable? I didn't hear that last part.
She said
Parent life.
insane.
Insane.
Parent life.
Well, you can take care of that while I think of if I want
Yeah,
to...
go for it.
Yeah.
I will. Ooh. Sorry. I'll be right back.
So I could teleport myself over there, survey
Right.
and make sure there are still Yugoloths present, and then teleport back.
You can always just teleport straight to Donko and ask him to. Like, you guys don't even need the sending stone.
Oh, I can cast sending, can't I?
That too. But you could also just.
But who knows what Donko's up to right now and how many spell slots he has at any given time? He's on his own little quest.
Yeah, that's up to Josh.
I know.
I have no autonomy over Donko during this arc, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Fine. I can cast sending for free at Donko.
Yeah. and then he can do some divination. But I mean, Frank is a warlock. I can just talk to my patron. I mean, your patron's probably a little not as forthcoming,
My
perhaps.
patron is esoteric as crap and doesn't tell me
Yeah.
jack diddly squat.
And I think on the last time Chance talked to his patron, there was like a whole. He's like, I'm not omnipotent. I just see what I see, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna try out the sending at Donko first. Why not?
Okay. Yeah.
I just don't wanna, I don't wanna deprive Donko of the spell slot he needs to accomplish his quest. But
Yeah. He's on like a filler arc,
alright.
The episodes you skip kind of thing. He's just looking for robots.
Is there a robot in here? Nope.
Nope. Yeah, he would be, wouldn't he? He's like, okay, he's in this town. Knock on someone's door. Do you have a robot in here? No? Alright. Do you guys have a robot? No.
Literally
Okay.
just door knocking, going door to
Door
door.
to door
Have you
robot.
seen someone like this? Or like this?
Have you let
The
robots
one
into
page
your
at the end of the chapter.
house?
I imagine going to the local police and asking for, wanted posters or something.
Any robots, dangerous or otherwise, that have showed up? Have you seen this me?
It's a picture of you.
Of a wanted poster. They just immediately arrest him.
I don't think... I would hope there's not wanted posters of Donko.
I mean, you don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Donko
but,
doesn't know. He's an amnesiac.
Donko doesn't know. Yeah.
If there's any wanted
I have those-
posters,
I
they're
still have-
carved into stone.
I still have the stack of the notes that were thrown all over town. Did those have our pictures on them?
No, it just mentioned the Sentinels. It was like
Okay. Shame.
printing press.
If I had the contact of other plane spells, still we could potentially use that.
Yeah, but then you go crazy. Maybe. I mean, I thought about that too.
What's wrong with that?
I honestly thought about potentially, we could wait till quote-unquote tonight for me to switch out a single spell, and I could switch out a single spell for contact other plane.
And
But-
then if whoever uses it did go crazy, then it would just take a long rest, right? To remove it.
Let me look. Because long-term madness is finicky.
It could be wacky. Yeah.
Let's see. No, you need greater restoration. It says in the spell.
Right, but
That's
in
expensive.
the sentence
That's
where it
1,000
says
gold.
on a failure, you take 6d6 psychic damage and are insane until you finish a long rest.
Oh, it's insane till you finish a long rest. Okay.
Oh, so it's not
Sure.
permanent insanity. It's the regular insanity table. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Okay, so it's not the insanity table. It's just a insanity effect.
Yeah, can't take actions, can't understand whether the creatures say, can't read, and speak only in gibberish.
So then it would be
Okay.
wise to do that spell before you go take a long rest. That'd be a pretty effective way to do that spell. Cast it. Can't understand
nap.
anything. Just be like, I'm sleepy. Sleep it off.
Yeah.
That's a very effective way of using that spell without having to use Greater Restoration if it automatically gets cured over a long rest.
I'm still not sure if I should do anything about noticing Yukala, looking at Gravemaker and Wrath. I suppose I could mention it to Charles.
Alright. Josh,
Yeah.
we've decided I'm going to use my free sending book that I have connected to Donko and I'm
No,
going
that
to.
one breaks. Use your regular sending.
That's what I said. That's because
Oh.
like my regular sending book that I have, my Eldritch Invocation allows me to cast sending at
Oh.
Donko for free forever.
Right.
Or at least anyone who's put their name in my book. Anyway, I'm casting sending at Donko and be like, "Hey Donko, Donko,
Oh.
Donko's too."
Oh, I'd have to wait till you do your 25 words,
Mhm.
right?
Until I finish, but hey Donko, it's Charles. Can you cast divination or something and find out if Winter's Hearth is still abandoned or full of Yugoloths? There.
Okay. Well, I guess first off, Josh, do you already have like a roadmap plan for what Donko has been doing up to that point, or
It's
no?
been 3 days.
Right.
That's a good amount of time.
It's been
Right.
3 days.
Knowing Donko, he'd get on things immediately, but anyway.
I mean, he would. I'll say at this point, Donko's gonna need to find a place out of the way because he is in a city.
Yeah. So, like, but have we made it to the city that we were going to? I forgot the name of it.
Yes.
Okay, so we're there. Was this the same city that we sent
Tanya? Yes.
Tanya? Okay. So we'd probably just go to her then, I assume.
Mhm.
Wherever she's staying. Okay. And I just assume we probably just barely got there.
Can
Okay.
Donko cast transport via plant yet?
Yeah.
Okay, that's. Oh yeah, duh. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, how did he do a character
If
swap
not,
that
I'm
quick
sure
anyway?
Trask has someone who could have teleported me there, you know?
True. Yeah.
Yeah. Trask be how he do.
So I'll say, Donko, you're walking through a heavily populated streets, and you're going to need to take a second to find someplace
Take
more.
this call.
Yeah,
I gotta take this call.
Okay. Easy peasy. One other question then. Since I'm with Anya, would she be
Right now,
aware politically?
you'd be with Wayland. Tanya is in the city, but not currently with you
Right,
guys.
but I mean, like, if I've met up with her, would I have talked to her about the... Basically, what I'm asking is, would I know without having to do divination, or no?
Probably not. No.
Okay. Oh, Charles! Hello! Wayland also says hello. It's good to hear from you. Yeah, I can cast divination. Just give me a few minutes to cast
That's
it. Yeah.
That's just give me a. That's all you get.
So I do that.
Okay.
Boop, Donko. Wait, actually, do I have... I should probably make sure I have the component. I usually buy a bunch of them. Divination. Oh, I have 8. Actually, I would actually call... Not divination, but I would first cast the other one.
Augury?
No, or divination the one that lets me talk to a god?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, do that.
Okay, I believe you get a couple of questions.
Mm-hmm. So I would ask, knowing the general information Charles would probably need, first off, what is the status? What is the what's the term I'm looking for where an invading army exists? Occupied, I guess.
Fine, yeah.
Yeah,
What is the
what is the
occupied
current,
status?
yeah, occupied status of Winter's Hearth regarding the invading army? How many? Wait, okay. I haven't used this spell in a while. How many questions do I actually get? I think it's only one.
You're the
Maybe
one that
2.
has the spell.
Yeah,
I can look it up.
What did I ask? A single question concerning a specific goal or event. Okay, so I would instead, if it's one question, I would ask, what is the current um, invasion status of the? Do we know the name of the army? Did that general guy tell us? I
The
don't think he
Gith
did.
Yankee army is what
Like
we refer to
their
them.
organization, their cult. Or
Oh, the
whatever.
Cult of Zazidus.
Okay, yeah. What is the current status of the invading army of the cult of Zazidus here on the material plane?
Give me 1 sec.
This is the equivalent of, I'd like to phone a friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's ask the audience.
Who would like to become a millionaire?
I'd like to phone a friend. His name's Donko. He's a wise sage. He jumped into a poisonous well once.
Why is this relative?
And for
Okay.
Donko, it's relatively not great.
You ask your Donko, you ask your question. What is the status of the army of the cult of Zazidus on the material plane? As you stand there, the offering crumbles in your hand, and the wind picks up as it picks up the dust, and it swirls around you. And there is a feeling of footsteps, marching, movement. You find yourself almost walking in place as this
I'm listening.
wind.
But the cat wants to go out. Keep going. I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. I didn't know if you could. As the wind kind of blows back and forth, rocking you, you get the sense that there is movement, there is traversal.
Okay. So they're going somewhere. Interesting. All right. I'm going to cast it again. There is a 25% chance. Wait. Cast a spell 2 or more times. There's a cumulative 1d 100. 25% chance for each casting after the first to get a random reading that isn't like relevant at all. So if you want to secretly roll that, or if you want me to, I think you have to roll it or something probably.
No, it says
It
it literally
does say-
says.
Darn
Does
it, it says the roll has to be made in secret. Okay, fine. I guess I'll do that.
Okay. Then the second question I'm gonna ask is, what is or is the army still heavily occupying, or I'll say the name of the army and everything still. Are they currently occupying Winter's Hearth actively still?
A 1 to 25, you get a random. Anything else?
Come on. Can't tell if that was a good facial expression or I'm concerned.
You pull out another offering, and it too, as you ask the question, crumbles to dust in your hand. And then as you're holding it, as you're holding the dust, it's filtering, sifting through your fingers and through the pores of rock and stone that make up your hand. It filters and starts to shift back up towards the top of your hand. and forms into a tower.
Hmm.
And then disintegrates and forms into a broken wall. And then reforms into many, many, many faceless humanoid people, creatures, standing in rows before it then crumbles.
Okay. Interesting.
I love spells that say you can give an omen.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Just came up with that on the fly. That was perfect. All right. I don't think I can cast sending, but I'd assume Wayland is a wizard, could cast
Well,
sending.
I can just cast sending again.
Yeah, but I told you to give me a minute, so you don't know how long I'm gonna actually take on this.
Charles is impatient, and he can cast it infinitely. Are you ready now?
Oh, that's the point. Yeah. Oh, one more. I'm sure talk there. Like another 5 minutes.
How about now? I give him I basically just give him 5-minute intervals.
Okay. So, I talked to somebody. Can't say who twice, if someone else is counting.
I'm literally going to be casting this over and over again as needed, Josh. So we don't need to count. We don't need to count.
It's just gonna randomly cut out for about 5
I
words.
need you to start back when you said da da da.
Sorry, I lost you for a second.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe mostly. So the first, just so you know, first time I cast it, 100% answer that makes sense. Second time I cast it, sometimes some other random deity will give me an answer that means nothing at all. So the first one, I asked what their status was. They gave me the concept of movement, like organization. It seems like they're I'm losing my words again. Formations to invade. You know what I'm saying?
Moving?
Huh?
Moving?
Well, yes, but like the
Marching?
military term for organizing an invasion.
Marching.
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that one. They're on the move. That's what we'll say. As far as Winter's Hearth, they're either building up a larger force, or they're all leaving as part of the invasion, or both, or they're building a house.
That is so extremely useless.
Yeah, the second casting's always a little wacky sometimes, so I can never be sure.
Okay, I'm just gonna have
But
to
the
check
first one I
myself.
can say is they're on the move. They're coming for somebody somewhere. So things about to go bad probably somewhere.
Alright,
You
I'm
should
gonna
cast
check.
it again.
Do you need someone to go with you?
I mean, I guess it's safe if the whole party comes because and it doesn't cost me anything to do it. Do look around. Do. So yeah, Charles will ask because I could go alone, but there's no point if I can teleport everyone for free. All right, everyone, we're gonna go. We're gonna take a good look, and if things are safe, we'll take a longer look. If things are not safe, we will not take a longer look.
Try to get us somewhere high, I guess. So if they are moving, I can look around.
I can say, when we were in Winter's Hearth, did we know if there were any mountains on the western side?
Mm-mm. Now, Winter's Hearth basically is set up to where there's a small outlet, a river, that surrounds a peaked outcropping of rock in the center of the town that overlooks kind of everything. Past that, it's buildings and houses, and then the wall, and then farmland past that.
Yeah, what sucks is that I can only specify target destinations in general terms.
Wait.
So I can't
I
say
have to-
outside of Winter's Hearth. I have to say Winter's Hearth.
Well, I have teleportation circles still on my list, but that would put us like right in the middle of
There
things.
are no teleportation circles we know of, do we?
Actually, there are. Give me just 1 second.
Excuse
right.
me?
I will say, Chance, you teleported into that teleportation circle to get back to your friends after that. After you went back to the peninsula.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
You have a teleportation circle to Winter's Hearth. Wait a second, that changes a
Yes.
lot of things, actually.
Yeah, and at some point we acquired like 5 kits of it for me.
Something like that, yeah. All right, I gotta go help my wife again. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys.
Do you
It's
think?
fine.
Okay, wait, no, it doesn't change a lot.
It changes some things.
I was thinking, for some reason, I thought teleportation circle lasted longer than a round. 'Cause of
Oh,
it-
is it? It's still just around though.
Yeah, it's just around. So, like, I was thinking we could mass transport all of the bloodletters, but no.
That would be awesome.
There's a lot of reasons why Charles would want to take Gate as his 9th level Mystic Arcana.
Yeah.
This is one of them, but we're far
Yeah.
away from that.
Yeah. But like, if nothing else, it would mean you would use less charges of your staff at this time.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I can always recharge all of my staff's charges every night, with thanks to literally both of the warlocks we have in the party.
But could you do it in the middle of a battlefield? If things go really bad?
Gate takes a single action and lasts up to a minute. It's concentration. And I can technically extended spell it to make it last 2 minutes. And it's a frickin'... How big is it? 20 feet in diameter. I could, like, with Gate, I could Doctor Strange a whole army.
No, gate has to be a precise location on a different plane of existence.
And if I could take any weird 9th level spell I wanted, it would be Imprisonment. Such a very specific spell.
Yeah.
It's a story spell, 100%.
Those are always good. We like.
But if I had to
Yeah.
take one, it would either be True Polymorph, Gate, or Foresight. Oh, I had a weird technical question. Ryan,
Uh-huh.
so with the spell Foresight, I want to know your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The spell Foresight bestows you a limited ability to see into the immediate future.
Okay.
Now, let's say, hypothetically,
Mhm.
you have Foresight on you, and someone's
Okay.
subtle spell casts a spell. You could see them, the effects of the spell, so you technically are seeing them cast the spell
Mm-hmm.
before, even though they aren't doing anything.
Okay.
Because you
Yeah.
have a limited sight of the future, could you counterspell that spell?
How much time does it say you have? Just as limited?
It's just basically
Or-
you have a limited ability to see into the immediate future. For the duration, the target can't be surprised and has advantage on all attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws. Additionally, other creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target for the duration.
Mm-hmm. Well, if I were DMing it versus if I were playing it, I'd argue very different things to benefit me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
as a DM, I would roll counter, like perception or insight versus sleight of hand if it's subtle cast, to see if like they're able to notice it amongst, because the future sight is wacky.
Yeah.
You're seeing a lot of stuff at the same time as seeing
Yeah.
regular stuff. So I'd make it a counter challenge. But as a player, I'd argue the opposite. It's like, while I see the future, I see it happen. So it happens. I just do.
It's just a curious idea that I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
It's like,
No, it's
for me, in my mind, it's the one way to counter a subtle spell.
yeah. Yeah, it would work.
Which
I think so.
I'd be deadly terrified against Josh using that, so that's why I don't mention it.
Yeah, that would be.
And it would only
great.
work if it was a spell you can see the effects of. Like suggestion,
Yeah.
like my suggestion spell, which has no immediate visual effect or magical effect, really.
Yeah. Mm.
I'll be back.
Okay.
we still waiting on Josh?
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
You know, I'm actually sort of a bit divided between whether Chance would take True Polymorph or Foresight in the future.
Right? It's a hard one.
Both
Yeah,
good.
like on the one hand, Foresight would be amazing for the Hexblade, but on the other hand, True Polymorph would allow Chance to become a dragon, even for a limited time.
I think druids get through polymorph, so I could
They
always
do.
cast it on you guys. And then, because I don't think I can get foresight, that's not a druid spell.
Another thing about True
Dang.
Polymorph is that technically it can be dispelled by Dispel Magic. So even if it gets into its permanent, it can still be dispelled.
Right.
Spell foresight. Most schools get it.
Oh,
Which is nice.
No, druids do
because
get foresight. Can I give it to other people?
You
You
can.
touch a willing creature. Just take true polymorph that.
Well,
and
that's
give
the
you
thing.
guys foresight
Well,
when we need it.
The thing about Foresight, it only lasts 8 hours, and when you recast it, you can only cast it on one person. So there's a benefit.
It's not concentration.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
But like,
and I can cast through Albert because it's a touch spell.
yeah, but it's your 9th level spell slot as well. You have to take into consideration. You only get one.
That's a good point. True polymorph would be more useful overall for me.
Yeah, which is why like there's benefit to one like to us hypothetically.
I don't know what dragon does true polymorph allow? Like any dragon? Can you become an ancient, dragon or just a regular dragon?
Let's
You can
see.
become any creature that is a CR of your level or lower.
Which when do you get 9th levels? Like
17.
18, 17? So
I have it
yeah,
pulled up right
yeah.
here. There are a lot of
Pretty dangerous spell.
you
I
can
think
turn into
Foresight's
a
more dangerous,
ghost. You
though.
could turn into a ghost dragon, and we have seen a ghost dragon.
Yeah. But imagine with foresight, right? Any boss that we're up against, because you guys have just a bunch of counter spells, because you have rings of spell storing, right?
Well, one rings of spell
At
story.
least one. Still, you can counter spell like end game super spells. Like, I think foresight's better, objectively.
We haven't established that Foresight allows you to counterspell a subtle spell.
I don't see why it wouldn't, though. Like, what's stopping it from being
It
used
sets a
that way?
dangerous precedent.
Advantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws. And with counterspell, you make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. So with foresight, you could get advantage on counterspell. The way I'm reading it.
Yep. I will say, Charles is 100%. I don't know what level it is. Let me check. 100% for my 8th level spell, Mystic Arcana, taking Glibness.
Doing what
Hands
now?
down. The spell Glibness.
Lib.
Until the spell
Making a
ends,
sense of
when you
your-
make a charisma check, you can replace the number you roll with a 15. Additionally, no matter what you say, magic that would determine if you are telling the truth indicates that you are being truthful.
That's pretty
Gotta
good.
go help my baby now.
Okay.
Okey-doke.
The thing about glibness is it says any charisma check, which with warlocks counts for counter spells or dispel magic. So it's essentially an auto counter spell button once the effect is up.
Interesting. Okay.
Sorry, my kids have been a bit of a nightmare tonight.
Yeah.
It's okay.
All right.
Did
Happens to
Michael
the
just step out
most of
just
us.
now?
All of us except for me. So.
Happens to everyone except Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh, now Michael. Kyle had to step out. Now.
Yeah, Kyle had to step out for a bit.
Okay.
Help with his kid.
So what did you guys decide, or what was going on?
Pretty sure we're planar shifting over there real quick.
Just a
Doing a
quick
charge?
planer hop.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, no, sorry. We're gonna teleport circle over there.
Okay.
And then we'll planar shift out if we need to. We were also discussing higher level warlock spell choices.
Like what?
Um, like Foresight versus True Polymorph
Oh, yeah.
versus Gate. How Charles is absolutely taking Glibness for his 8th level Mystic Arcana. I don't like those faces you're making, Josh. They're thinking faces.
Yeah, they are.
Nothing more dangerous than thoughts.
A dangerous DM is a thinking DM. Hmm.
Yep.
Alright. I need a music change. I'm gonna change it myself. I always feel like the Dead Cells OST is a good one for D&D.
Oh yeah. Very.
All right.
Okay. We all good? By the way, I don't think I've heard Michael's voice once this session. Are you there, Mike?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I just been listening.
You're good. I just wanted to hear your beautiful voice. All right. Teleporting to the teleportation circle, correct?
Seems
I
that way.
think we agreed on that, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Chance, you get the runes inscribed. You kind of go over to one side of kind of an out of the way area up here on the Bloodwell temple, and you start inscribing some runes into the ground. You create the circle, and within the 10 minutes it takes to cast, or 1 minute it takes to cast the spell, you get it all ready. You look up at your friends, make the last mark, and you all vanish. The last time you had teleported to this spell circle, or the teleportation circle, it was in the middle of a siege. You were alone, and you found yourself trying to catch up to your friends. This time they are around you, Chance. But the scene is dramatically different. As you all come to apparate into this space, the small chamber, the small building that held and holds the teleportation circle is mostly crumbled. The entire wall to the north is blown outward. You can see chunks of debris and timbers and stone that is... There was an explosion of some sort here. The roof is nothing but charred framework. The circle remains, which is lucky, seeing as the majority of it has ash and soot piled up. As you look up towards the frame, the vacant and completely destroyed roof, you see a ship, an airship of some kind, circling, and then it dips behind a tree, and then another one flies over. They're probably 300-400 feet up in the air, but you can still see them. I need everyone to make stealth checks, please.
Do I have... No, I don't. Here we go.
Not too enthused by that roll.
Oh. Oh wait, it's not showing my stealth checks again. It's 'cause I
You
have
rolled a
window.
25.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, stealth
Wrath,
check
Castle?
from Castle. Wrath already rolled.
Oh, Wrath, you got a 12, okay.
Castillo.
You there, Michael?
Yeah, sorry.
All good. Did you get a chance? Can we get a stealth roll?
I will let me pull it up. Stealth?
Yep.
Probably not gonna work.
Hmm.
Yep.
It's not the worst.
Made of metal.
Okay. Also, whoever wants to make a perception check while you're now within this building.
I think the goal was we'll all look around, and the second we see presence of Yugoloth or like major Yugoloth or Githyanki occupation, we're out of there.
I know.
Why is it
Perception.
sending my rolls in?
Perception. I'm so good at that.
Frank and Chance. Sounds like frankincense. Frank and Chance, you kind of duck down. You guys are fairly stealthy. Wrath, you end up accidentally. Wrath and Castle, actually, both of you, in trying to get down and trying to stay stealthy, you go over next to one of the stone walls that is still standing, and nearly at the same time, you guys bump into it, kind of trying to hide behind the same place, and a couple of rocks from the top kind of tumble down toward the outside as Frank, Chance, you hear noises outside, grunts, and as you kind of look over one of these walls, you can see a group of Yugoloth and Githyanki making their way towards you guys. They're probably about 100 feet off, 80 feet off, moving fairly quickly toward the sound they heard. You notice that there are several Githyanki warriors. There is this creature that's all down on all fours. It's where its face should be is nothing but a gigantic maw open with a tongue that kind of dangles out of it.
That's terrifying.
You see one of the large Yugoloth, orangish pink skin with smaller wings on its back. Very intense and kind of gruff looking, as they are making their way towards you. They are getting very, very close.
Guys, I think it's safe to say this place is still occupied.
Okay, bye-bye.
Who goes there? Must have been my imagination.
Must have been the wind. I'm going to make a roll real quick,
No.
because the creature that's down on all fours with the face mouth is called a Canoloth.
I know what that is.
And the Canoloths, if you guys are within 60 feet, block teleportation of any kind. So, I'm going to roll a d20. They were 80 feet to start with, and they started hoofing it towards you pretty quickly. You know what? No, we're going to make this a initiative it basically contested initiative. Charles versus this group. I'm gonna do it this way.
All right.
Charles, if you beat the group, they have just a +3 to their initiative.
Could we
You
get?
need to,
Oh.
you need to beat an 11.
There is no combat encounter. I'll just roll a dex check.
Yeah, just roll a dex check.
Ayo.
There it is.
Ooh.
As they were getting just on that edge.
Nah, I had some space with a 20. Come on.
Yeah, okay. As you see them turn around, there we go. As you see them turn around and react to the noise,
If I rolled a 15, I would expect that. But
you very quickly are like, all right, this place is screwed. Double tap to get out of there, and your group once again vanishes and teleports. Remind me which plane you go to and then come back.
it's always Arborea, I believe.
Arborea, okay.
After looking at planar lore with Donko, I believe we decided that was the safest one to go to.
That's fair. One of these times I should make you roll a D100 when you teleport there, just for fun. But not tonight. You, I'm assuming you're going heading back to the Bloodwell.
The Bloodwell, like basically where we were. I mean, I can't specify specifics, but you know.
You find yourselves back in the streets of the Bloodwell, the city of Bloodwell, I guess technically, and the rest of the day is yours to plan. You now know that Winter's Hearth is occupied.
Not only is it occupied, they're up to something. They're
Up to something.
Those chickens are up to something. What is that?
That's
called?
what we
Okay.
had tomorrow.
And if they have at least 2 airships there already, then who knows how many more airships they have.
Yeah, those chickens are up to something. That's the line.
100%. With airships.
They have airships. That
That's
sucks.
what the movie's about.
But that's also fun.
Mhm.
I want an
Mhm.
airship.
Imagine if we could capture one.
I want an airship.
An army of barbarians on multiple airships. I'm just saying, like
If we had the ability to
world,
create and
capture an airship.
requisition. It's a hard choice. Yeah, the airships are a problem. Because if we've learned anything from Wrath, things in the air don't really blend well with the combat style of Wrath. We only saw like 2 airships or like 3?
You just looking up through the limited viewport that you could see above
Was it 1?
the building, you saw 2.
We saw 2. Okay.
It was like one flew past very quickly, and one was a little bit above and flew the other way.
When we were there during the siege, we only saw like 1 in the distance, right?
Correct, and then that one, as you were about to teleport out, was flying towards you.
Okay. Great. Well, that's a lot to take in.
So here's my idea. Steal the keys. Grab a boat.
I mean, we're not
Generally,
really
like,
close to
right
water
now,
now, are we? And I don't know how much faster sailing would be.
I meant, boat.
Oh.
Yeah, I was
Real
merging.
Dorado, I got you.
Yeah.
So, like, the most straightforward way to get these guys to there is they march, which is fine. It just takes a lot of time. Other
What we
transport.
could do, which probably be will fail, but we could have all the clans take care of the ground troops, and then we could teleport ourselves around and take care of the airships as best we could.
Guerrilla tactics.
We could try
I feel
that.
like that's
Yeah.
I
the
mean,
only
how
way we
big
could
were
with
these
what we have.
airships?
You got very brief glances, so I would say
Listen,
It-
Charles didn't sit through military history classes for nothing.
make a perception check.
Oh, perception. Come on, I said military history classes, not seeing things classes.
I'll say this: lower DC perception or higher DC at disadvantaged history.
I'll always take disadvantage history. You kidding me?
Still got a frickin' 17.
Yeah, that's right. Charles studied, okay?
Nerd.
Yeah.
The one that was higher, the higher up, you noticed was smaller, quicker. The other one was a little bit on the larger side. Again, hundreds of feet away, it was hard to tell any form if there was anything on the deck, if there were any armaments attached to it. But it's the one that was closer, that it was kind of circling, was a larger ship.
Like a galleon, if I would like compare it to sea ships.
Potentially.
Yeah, I don't know. I know you. I can't expect you to name off sizes of ships off the top of your head, Mr. DM. But galleon's just like bigger.
I know.
3 sails, I think. The
Yeah.
galleon.
Like
Anyway.
Sea of Thieves, the galleon, and then the brig, and then the sloop.
Anyway,
Hey, Sea of Thieves is on sale for anyone who wants to get it and play, because I've always wanted to play that game.
Love that game, and I have it, and I'll play it at any time that any person asks me. So,
Brian and I both have it.
Have it, and I played it a lot recently, and then I played it for like 4 hours and got a bunch of treasure, and then just got wrecked by these
got-
random dudes, and they like cussed at me while I. So
That'll leave a sour taste
Yeah.
on your mouth.
yeah,
I'm not gonna play it for another year now.
this is the
Sounds
way.
about right.
This is the way.
Anyway,
Anyway. Okay. I mean, like, we're pretty good. I feel like we could take out, like, the galleon. The airship. We'd have to, like... It's just a matter of getting there.
Yeah. How big is this army too? Because how many
We saw,
people
like,
do we have in the Bloodwell?
Millions, right? Originally.
originally,
Well, that was in the astral plane.
yeah. And you did.
What kind of freaking deal do you gotta make to get all those Yugoloths to side with you? Holy crap.
I believe, if I remember correctly, he mentioned, the general dude mentioned when you guys spoke with him.
Mm.
I think he did say. So I'm okay to say this. I think he did say that it was somewhere around the lines of 120,000 strong.
Could have sworn it was like
It looked like millions, but that was like...
just the Yugoloth.
right. Okay. Yes.
You didn't see any. You didn't see the
Githyanki. Yeah. Who knows how big the cult of Zazadus is, but...
I feel like we're gonna have to have some kind of cut the head off the snake strategy here, unless we find more people.
Well, I like the guerrilla tactic idea. I'm sure the barbarians will be very good at that. So we scout it out. We find. I'm saying this is Frank, by the way, not just player. We find outposts. We find leaders' tents. We find their food. I don't know what's a Yugoloth.
Minor illusion. And I'll just like filter through all the different flavors we've seen.
What? What are they?
Fiends, I'm pretty sure.
Do fiends eat like food, or do they just eat like souls? Or if we can cut off their food, we cut off their food. That's what I'm thinking. Cut off their food
Well,
source.
I would assume there's food at least for the Githyanki, even if
At least
not
for
the
them.
Yugoslav.
Yeah, yeah. Unless they're teleporting it in, and then like we can't really. Anyway, yeah. Cut off their food. Kill the leaders. Set everything on, just everything on fire, like everything at all times. Guerrilla tactics are smaller army. We could do it.
I like that plan.
Yeah, yeah. Bombs. If you, we got this guy can make bombs, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, he can make bombs. That's what like Waylon was telling me about these. Are they heads? Bombs. We made.
We didn't make those, but I wish we could.
Ooh.
At this level, I don't see why we can't try again. You know, just saying. I'm sure the Bloodletters have a collection somewhere of heads of their enemies. You know, like
I'll let you choose which reason. I'm going to say no to that.
There's more than
Probably
5.
This one right here, probably.
yeah. Yeah. We're gonna have to start walking real soon, though, if we're getting all these boys there.
Yeah. I wonder if they have their own way of transporting. We should ask them, unless they're just planning on hoofing it.
I think at this point, you guys you've made your way back to the Bloodwell, I'm assuming, right?
We're making our way. I want to talk to Brozak to see how they're like. What do they have? What are
What's
they
their
able to
military
do?
power? What do we? All that jazz.
As you find your way back to the Bloodwell, a shadow kind of finds its way to traveling with you. As you look over, you can see the woven form of clan leader Garnosh.
Oh, great!
Hey,
As
he's all
he's
about it.
kind of hunched over, got the cloak around him. As he's just walking with you now. So just all of that just appeared out of nowhere.
Have you guys seen the new Puss in Boots?
Of course.
Not yet.
I have not, but I
I heard it's fantastic. But
I imagine that wolf. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I've seen the memes, so I know. What
Yes, yeah. What would we'd be discussing that now? We need plans. We need orders.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That is exactly
thinking-
what we intend to talk about.
Wanton destruction, mostly guerrilla tactics. What do you guys do? What's your style?
Let's wait till.
I'm chatting up while we go, though. You know, like, what's your style? What's your flair?
He
What do you-
leans in real close, and you can see the canines, the teeth that just extend longer than they should. Our style. Small man.
Mm,
Kill.
that's the movie.
Kill.
Well,
Feed.
did you say fiend or feed?
Feed. I said feed.
Would you feed on fiends?
His ears kind of perk up at that. And his head cocks to does the dog. Yes,
Awesome.
Okay.
I would love to taste a fiend.
I'm willing to bet it's like barbecue. You know, like crispy a little bit.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah. And for those who are kind of walking behind, you can see his tail start to wag.
Uh,
All right. We're trying to find Brozak. Grave maker.
Maker.
Yes. Okay.
Um,
I keep
Well,
thinking
we
digger.
plan to leave soon. We will let you know when we're leaving.
of course. And he kind of slinks into an alley and disappears. You make your way back to Gravemaker. He is at a table up there with Flight and someone you actually recognize, Wrath. Someone you haven't seen since you've come back. He's an old teacher of yours, but you know he is your father's highest general. Basically, he's like a field commander. He's the one that takes the majority of the troops or the fighters out on these raids. He goes on every raid. He's this older gnome, but he's jacked.
Amazing.
No hair on the top of his head. He has like a longer kind of soul patch.
I love this man.
This is General Rasha. As he
General Rasha.
Is this like why Wrath respects Charles for being short at all? Because he had this guy in his life?
yeah.
And
yeah.
size doesn't matter.
Probably.
He turns towards you. There he is. Big boy Wrath himself. Welcome back, boy.
Oh, it's good to see you.
You as well. Here you did some fine work with a what was he, a worm? What was the
It was a worm. Worm.
worm?
Well, it was a
Worm.
worm, small man worm.
Turned into a big worm.
Big
Huh.
worm.
The flying kind, not the.
That sounds like fun. All right, well, come sit down, relax. Well, or not, because we have a ton of crap to plan.
Yeah, we need to get going as soon as we can. We're wondering how and when we should do that.
We hope for
Gravemaker at this point kind of chuckles. We do have some of the clans do have some cavalry. Not horses. They wouldn't hold most of our forms, but giant boars.
Nice.
That's awesome.
We have enough for a few hundred of our from Brozak, and I know we'll have to get with the others too.
So like all of the clans combined, what's our army size looking at like right now? All clans except
Clan Visna.
Visna. That's the one.
Visna has the largest standing army.
Oh, lame.
As Gravemaker is describing this, Clan Brozak has 5,000 fighting. Dramal has 4,000 about. Kalaktil has 6,000. Clan Primal has 5,000. Um, Visna has the largest at 9,000. Gishma has 4,000, and Obawa has. Where's my? Has about 5,000 as well.
So all of them minus 9,000 equals what?
I don't know.
About 29,000.
What was that? 29? Dang, okay. Alright. You know, I'd say that's a pretty fair size.
Especially if we focus guerrilla tactic, we easily can retake that city. 'Cause they've already done all the siege for us. The walls are broken.
And the other
there's
thing you have to
no-
keep in mind is part of the army's traveling. If their Yugoloth's force is 120,000, at least half of it, I feel, would be traveling somewhere.
Mhm.
You also remember from when you talked to Solthrun, your Mind Flayer friend,
Right.
that they had split their forces pretty heavily between Winter's Hearth and a few places in the Foreign Empire.
Right, because they're trying to shut down all of the different ports.
Yeah.
We know that much, at least.
So
You
it's
don't know.
possible we'd outnumber them at this point.
Or maybe even close, but
Yeah.
considering the fighting force, the power, the raw frickin' power behind these people, I mean, I'd
They would
say
all like
one barbarian here probably counts at least as like 2 Yugoloth. Well, maybe only, I don't know. Depends on the Yugoloth, but they're frickin' swole here. They know what they're doing. The only problem is their technology with their airships, which sucks. Oh yeah,
That'd be our responsibility.
Brozak, do we have anything against anti-air?
Yeah, can anyone throw a spear hard enough to pierce, just picture like a dragon or something, right through its face?
I mean, I have.
There you go. I can't imagine an airship being stronger than a dragon. So
I
You
can.
must tell me that story sometime, Father.
Oh, don't worry, I will.
We did a double check to make sure to make extra sure that the place we're going to is occupied, and it certainly is. We almost didn't make it out. But they do have airships, ships that are in the air, which causes problems.
Flight speaks up at this point. Oh, yeah, that is a big problem, isn't it? When I was traveling, I remember encountering a few of those. Actually rode on one. That was quite fun. But yeah, that's going to be an issue for this group, I think.
Okay.
Well, we also, I mean, as far as what I was told anyway, we got some allies in the other cities as well, some magic guys. I'm sure I can get some of my boys in,
If we have any, did we ever see a airship in not Misthaven, in Feyheim?
In Feyheim? No, you didn't.
Okay. Frank, have you ever seen any airships in where you're from, the Co River?
DM, have I seen any airships in Code?
Yes, actually, you have.
Yeah. Okay, they like a sizable port or something.
There's an airport, yeah.
What about
Yeah.
are they for battle, or are they just
With-
transport?
With what my background story
The
stuff.
ones-
Would I
The
have
ones that
connection?
Frank would have seen are more mercantile. Specifically, Co River is an interesting one because you can. It's kind of the northernmost part of the Moorcliffs. You can head north, but you just hit some more of the Janaea Mountains. You can follow the river, but it ends in the mountains. And so the way that Co River has done its business is via either transporting things via airship or through the river going down south. And so, yeah, you would have seen mercantile ships come from the Cliffhold city-states, as well as from the Foreign Empire.
Okay.
Because they'll be able to fly over the Janaea Mountains to the north and east.
Another strat we have, hypothetically, with that cut off the snakehead airship thing, is if we can see the big airship and we can see where the what's the word? The head? What's the head of an airship? The command post? No.
The helm?
The helm, that's the word. If we can see where the helm is of the ship, technically Castle could try to cast teleport on us. If he can see it, it counts as very familiar for teleport, which would give us a 75% chance of just being able to teleport directly into the helm of the ship. If he can see
Yeah, I'm
it.
down for that.
That'd be fun. That way we don't have to blow it up. We can just take it over. Pull a Sokka from Avatar: Last Airbender. Everyone, please get down into the bottom docking area. We have a very special birthday to celebrate.
Yes.
I can't believe Captain Colt of Zazadist remembered my birthday.
Oh, so dumb. I love it.
We just need to make sure to cut a hole in the bottom.
If I
they
could
don't
get an
fall out.
opportunity as Charles to do that, I'd take it in a heartbeat. But man. Depends on how many people man those ships. But
Actually, out of curiosity, plane shift, does it technically, you put a portal on the floor and just send somebody through a plane?
Plane shift, when used aggressively, is single target, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Alternatively, let's see. You can use spell to banish an unwilling creature to another plane.
Wait, what about, like, there's no way to, like, tear a dimensional portal in the ground?
Not unless you know gate.
Not as a player. Yeah, not as a player at low level.
Why I seriously am considering taking gate for my 9th level spell when we get there. But we're not there or close to there right now. So unfortunate.
So,
So basically the plan would be we teleport directly into the helm, hopefully. Fight the people in there, and then slowly fight everyone else on the ship.
Yeah.
Which would be rough, but
I don't see why it wouldn't work though. We're pretty strong.
We could somehow destroy the controls or something.
But what if
We
I
can move on
want
to the
it?
next ship.
I want the airship for me.
Want that chocolate cake?
Yeah.
Shoot, we're assaulting them. Donko did ask that as soon as we started the actual fighting to call them back. So
Eh.
I didn't think we'd get to it so quick.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We're only going to
Oh, we're gonna
assault the
walk for,
airships.
like,
They have
3
to.
weeks.
We're gonna do it at the same time the ground troops are attacking. So
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
it's gonna
he's
take.
He's got a 3-week buffer.
He's got like at least 3 weeks right now. And we've got 3 weeks until that main count, so that we've literally just started our own timer essentially for the main conflict between, at least for Winter's Hearth, that first conflict.
All right.
So should we say the rest of the day you're making plans, you're making
More
connections,
plans,
you're
yeah.
getting
Yes.
Everybody ready and prepared to leave in the morning?
Sure.
Yeah, if we can, that
We're
quickly.
probably not going to be with them.
But they can be directed. They can be given.
Yeah.
Okay. So the rest of the day, you work with everybody else. You get together with the other clan leaders, their generals, their commanding officers, and you find out fairly quickly that there is enough of a cavalry, I guess you can call it, to send nearly a third of the total force that you guys have quicker than everybody else.
So they could hypothetically scout out and set up a like, what's the word, like
Build a camp and
a
outpost.
camp of some
Yeah.
kind, an outpost.
Something, yeah.
Not
You guys
several.
can.
Probably best to keep them in multiple split locations so they're not assaulted. But
But that would be a solid nearly 10,000 riding warriors that would go on ahead. They would probably be able to get there in half, if not a third of the time.
Wow. Okay.
So to get from here to Winter's Hearth, riding hard, probably would be about a week and a half.
We cast divination a few times to figure out how much time we had until the Githyanki did their thing, right?
we did, but I don't remember what the answer was. It might be in my Donko notes. Check. Oh, my journal
I feel
entries.
like we had like a
I-
month at least.
What happened? Oh no.
DM, if you remember off the top of your head, that would be appreciated. But I know it's a lot to ask.
All
don't-
my
don't-
notes have been deleted.
Uh-oh.
Well, rip.
I can't remember exactly what was told to you.
I mean, we have every
So-
session recorded, but we'd have to go through and look at everything.
Right, yeah, I don't really want to go through all that. So I'll say, for the sake of this, you know that you basically have until their armies are able to gather and attack.
Which they're spread out right now.
They're spread out, yes. But they are gathering near. They're gathering to. I think Sulthrun was the one that told you this. They're gathering to the city of Xanayan in the
Right.
Foreign Empire,
They wanted
which
to do that.
incidentally was the town that third Donko the Third,
Was that also a ley line
supposed-
town?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe so. Yeah, I don't remember where what map was used, but yeah, I believe.
I've got it somewhere in the Google Drive.
Yeah.
I made several.
Okay, and that's where Donko 3 was chilling.
Was spotted by Arcano.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But if they're currently trying to do if they're up to something in Winter's Hearth, and if that omen from Donko is anything, which I believe it was accurate now, considering we've seen it for ourselves, they might be trying to get more something from Winter's Hearth right now. Which means cutting that off, maybe if they're trying to get more troops teleported in somehow. Or whatever they're doing, try to stop that, and that's a good chunk of their army taken care of, hopefully.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
So,
It'd be hard to plan anything past that.
Yeah.
Best laid plans always go wrong in D&D. So
you know that old saying.
Yeah.
As the day comes to a close, you are all tired, exhausted. Plans have been made. You've discussed more strategy today than you almost ever have. Logistics of traveling with this massive force in yet again another army that you have gathered together.
Deja vu.
Yeah, very deja vu, but in a grander scale.
Mm.
As the sun starts to set, Wrath, Flight comes up to you. He's like, all right, you and I have some studying to do, brother.
Studying. Gross.
Yeah, you're heir now. So I need to bring you up to speed on, well, everything. Everything revolving around the clan.
Right. Well, I'm willing.
Oh, good. Let's find a spot in your guys' tent, and we'll get going. He grabs uh, a bag and starts to pull things out of it, and you notice it's a bag of holding. So he's just pulling big tomes and bigger books and things out of it, as well as just a scattering of papers, and all have like scribbled notes on them and all these things. And he starts going over with you the not only the political layout and the setup for the entirety of the bloodletters, but the political layout within Clan Brozak, the who is in charge of what, like the different distribution of power within the clan itself, and who to go to if there's an issue with this or this or this or this.
Is
And
Charles hearing any of this? Hypothetically, maybe?
I don't know. Would you want to sit by
I mean,
and
if
listen?
Charles heard anything about political structures, he's hecka interested.
Then yeah, I'll say you guys are kind of just winding down after a day of meetings, basically. And yeah, you can listen in if you want.
Charles is writing his own notes for part of his entire dissertation on the story of the Sentinels by Charles Goodman.
That was good.
What's the ratio in the clan of warriors versus, I don't know,
Civilians.
are there?
Whatever isn't a
So-
warrior and a barbarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those who are considered within the fighting force and those who are support, basically, right? And it is not really surprisingly like
There's a lot
a
of overlap.
70-30.
Okay.
So like a lot of the the most all of the men of the group are within the fighting force, except for some of the elderly. But even some of those don't give up before they are killed in battle. The majority of the women are also within the fighting force, and as they raise their children within that, they then become the recruits and the low-ranking members of the fighting force. And he dives deeper into civic duties that you will have as even as heir, things that you can do and should do in order to help the clan grow and what's the word?
Flourish.
And flourish. Thank you. Just even as heir, but even more importantly as chief. And he goes over all of this with you. I need you to make
Constitution.
3. Well, I need you to make 3 intelligence checks
Oh,
and a
yeah.
Constitution saving throw
Yeah.
as kind of a concentration check.
Can Charles roll some checks?
Sure, go for it. You can roll the same if you want, but with I'll say Wrath, you do have advantage on those intelligence checks.
Okay. Here's the second roll for that first one. Then.
There you
Ugh.
go.
You saved the first roll.
Okay. So the first one's a success. Second one is a success. Third one's a success.
Look at you.
Go ahead and make
Wow, on a
your
Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw.
1, 1, 1,
Normal
1,
advantage.
1, 1.
Just normal.
Nice.
Wow.
Jeez.
You are, for the first time in your life,
You love to hear that.
Oh,
As a
nice dice.
DM.
for the first time in your life, Wrath, you are sitting there, and for the first little bit, you're like, why do we have to go over these in the books? And he starts talking about specifics and what these numbers actually mean, and tying these numbers and these names to people, and taking those people and being like, all right, well, this person, yeah, he may have lost the lower half of his left arm, but his right arm is still good and can wield that broadsword super crazily. And he goes into like detail of some of the higher ranking members of the fighting force and the clan Brozak and what they can do, and not just a number, not just a name, but who they are. And that's where it clicks, and you're like, okay, I can get this. I can understand this. I can do what needs to be done to make sure I'm ready. And you wholeheartedly dig into the books and the papers. And I don't know if we've established this. Can Wrath read and write fairly well?
I think we did
Um,
like, really early on.
I feel like you can.
Yeah, I
'Cause he
remember.
wrote,
I might
Don
have it
go
written
ask-
down somewhere.
Okay, well, how about this right now? Can he read and write fairly well?
At a low level, I would say.
Okay.
And probably just common.
Yeah, that makes sense. Bugbear, the Bugbear language, whatever it is, I can't remember,
Maybe we're in Dwarvish.
is
It's
fairly
like goblin or
fairly
something.
complicated to write anyway. but you're able to start taking your own notes and putting things in ways that you understand. So, talking about the individual over helping get food together for everybody. It's a gentleman who's lost both of his legs in battle, but who has figured out a way to, like, he lost it at the hip, lost both of his legs at the hip, but he's able to, with his long bugbear arms, walk on his arms. And so you write down however you want to describe that individual, and so like you go through all of this, and it gets later and later and later and later into the night. About 2 or 3 a.m. you finish up a note, and you look up, and Flight is passed out on his book.
Charles is asleep as well.
Charles is passed out as well, and you.
Charles has
look
got a
around.
little drawing in the corner of a bugbear on his arms walking around.
And you, at that point, realize it's probably a good time to go to sleep. So the
I
night
think
goes.
Then this
Sorry, go
must
for it.
be what Charles feels like to be smart.
So you find a comfortable spot, and the night progresses without incident. The morning comes, the light comes in through the tent flaps and kind of warms the space. And you hear bells start to go off close by as everybody comes to consciousness hearing these bells. Looking around, flight kind of what's what the those are the internal warning bells. And at that point your tent there's a knock on one of the wood frames and the tent flap opens up and an individual runs in. You hear him say something. The rest of you hear the words that he says. He says, "The chief has passed during the night. Wrath." You hear the words, but you don't internalize them. You don't understand them. They have to be repeated 2, 3, 4 times before you finally understand. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Ooh.
Wrath says, "Oh, well, shoot."
That's
Changes my plans.
Chance is probably gonna think of Yukalal from when Yukalal was looking at Gravemaker and Wrath the other day.
After like things have calmed down and people are processing the information, Charles like, what happened? Finally wakes up after anyway. Inconvenient timing.
All right. Well, hope everyone had fun.
No, I'm sad now actually.
A lot of,
Gosh dang it.
a lot of good things tonight.
I'm going to be raging until next week. Just wrath inside me, just raging until he can rage.
Oh my goodness.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like I can't even like bring myself to say anything like positive about this. Is awful. This is like the worst.
but hey, now he's chief.
I'm not sure if that makes it that much better.
I was gonna. Oh my gosh. Great.
All right. Well, I'll see you guys next week, and hope everyone can play, and everyone's staying healthy.
Yeah, don't get sick next week.
Yeah, what the heck, guys?
I will say, by the next week this time, my life's gonna get pretty crazy because we're moving. So I don't know.
Where are you moving?
We're moving to Pocatello.
Who you? Did you get a job down there?
No, so I got a job recently. Let me stop the stream.